A single sentence is enough to intrigue the viewer about Dexter. The series tells the story of Dexter Morgan, a blood spatter expert in the Miami police who works as a serial killer in his spare time. And that's when the most interesting part begins. Dexter follows the Harry's Code, rules developed by his adoptive father to keep him out of trouble and ensure he kills only criminals. The show delves deeply into the psychology of the main character, who leads a double life, hiding terrifying secrets behind the mask of an ideal citizen. Thanks to its unique concept and tense plot, Dexter received high praise from critics and won many awards. The Demon Sleeping in Dexter. The plot of the series revolves around a mysterious serial killer. As often happens with popular books, the story was quickly adapted for the screen, initially as a movie. However, the producers feared that audiences would perceive it as just another slasher, and they also faced financial difficulties. Eventually, the decision was made to turn it into a TV series, with the first book serving as the basis for the debut season. Interestingly, the author Jeff Lindsay came up with Dexter's character by accident during a dull
frankly,
business lunch.
If that appeals to you, there's something wrong with you.
You must read a book. Hi, I'm just so glad. Happy feet.
Serial murder is not always a bad thing. I go on the internet and I see Dexter porn movies. My wife wants me to sue everyone. I've wanted to kill him several times, and it begins to seem like a wonderful idea to cave in his head with a brick and throw his body in Biscayne Bay.
I have a great idea for you.
And you have to stop them. Go away so I can just write Dexter.
Differences between the book and the series. Fans who haven't read the original novel may not realize just how much darker, bloodier, and more disturbing it is compared to the Showtime adaptation. In the book, Dexter appears much colder and more detached. One of the biggest differences is the fate of Sergeant Dokes. In the series, he dies in the second season, but in the book, he ends up in the hands of a psychopathic doctor named Dr. Danko, who turns him into a living torso without limbs or a tongue, subjecting him to horrific suffering. Another significant discrepancy is that in the novel, Dexter suspects that he could be the Miami Butcher, a killer he's hunting. In the series, this character is given a different name, the Ice Truck Killer. The character of Lieutenant Maria Lagerta is also dramatically changed. In the book, she is described as a young, attractive, but somewhat devious woman who climbs the career ladder through her bed. In the series, she is portrayed as a confident, middle-aged woman who earned her position honestly. And the most interesting fact, initially the author of Dexter was firmly against casting MichaelCHall for the lead role. He didn't see him as a serial killer and doubted his ability to pull it off. However, after Hall read just one line of the script, Lindsay immediately changed his mind and recognized him as the perfect Dexter. What does Dexter's watch mean? Dexter's watch never changes throughout all 8 seasons. This accessory was chosen carefully. The model is unassuming, durable, and perfectly fits his lifestyle. Another fun fact, Dexter loves Ford, so almost all of his cars are of this brand. Although the series takes place in Miami, most of the scenes were filmed in Long Beach, California. A separate filming crew worked in Florida to add authenticity to the landscapes. As for little Harrison, Dexter's son, due to child labor laws, his role was played by twins Luke Andrew and Evan George, which allowed the filming schedule to be extended. How many people did Dexter kill? Dexter kills an average of 1 person per month, which accounts for about 15 to 20% of all murders in Miami. His victims are only criminals, although most of them remain missing persons. By the way, the production team did everything possible to make the crime scenes look as realistic as possible. For example, they specifically filled body bags with fake human parts, and then concluded that an average body could fit into 3 trash bags. Interestingly, Dexter was the only one to wrap Deborah in white plastic, symbolizing her innocence. All other victims ended up in black bags. Shocking deaths. Deaths in Dexter became the hallmark of the show long before Game of Thrones. Throughout 8 seasons, the series mercilessly dealt with beloved characters. Executive producer Sarah Colleton admitted that the actors were not informed about their character's death until the beginning of filming the relevant episode. This allowed them to preserve the shock and despair on screen. The real influence of the series. Dexter has been repeatedly accused of inspiring real-life criminals. Canadian filmmaker Mark Twitchell was so obsessed with the series that he even created a fake Facebook account under the name Dexter. He was found guilty of deliberately murdering 38-year-old Johnny Altinger. Another case involved 17-year-old Andrew Conley, who strangled his 10-year-old brother and later admitted that he felt just like Dexter. Dexter and Buffy? There's an interesting theory that Dexter and Buffy the Vampire Slayer take place in the same universe. A common element between them is the fast food restaurant Double Meat Palace, which appears in both shows. However, the most likely explanation is that both shows were written by screenwriter Drew Greenberg. Another interesting fact, Buffy star Sarah Michelle Gellar joined the cast of Dexter's prequel. She plays Tanya Martin, a police chief and Dexter's new boss. The series is set in 1991 and shows how he begins his journey as a serial killer. And now let's talk about Dexter's finale. In the series finale, everything unfolds in a dramatic yet impressive way. The tension reaches its peak as the main characters face their final serious challenge. The mysteries that have driven the series for many seasons are finally revealed, and we get answers to all the questions viewers have been asking. In the final episode, after many battles and losses, the characters have a chance for either redemption or, conversely, total destruction. The main antagonist, who has kept the audience on edge throughout the series, finally reveals his true motives. It seems that all is lost, but then the heroes find the strength to oppose fate. The moment they make their final decision changes everything. The finale is both tragic and breathtaking, as each character gets what they deserve, whether it's retribution for their actions or the restoration of justice. After this climactic point, the series leaves the viewer with a sense of the immense significance of the events. The finale leaves much to ponder, with open questions that may be revealed in possible spin-offs or new projects set in the series universe. Interesting facts about the series. 1. Unpredictable script. The show's writers claimed they deliberately tried to make each episode unexpected. All the major plot twists, from which it's hard to tear yourself away, were carefully planned from the very beginning. 2. Innovative cinematography. The series is known for its original shooting style and visual effects. The team used the latest technologies to create a scene where the line between the real and virtual worlds blurs. 3. Importance of music. The musical accompaniment was created from scratch, with every track chosen to reflect the emotional state of the characters and the atmosphere of the scene. The music became an inseparable part of the series and deeply immersed viewers in the world of the characters. 4. Historical accuracy. Although the series is fictional, many of its elements are based on real historical events. Some characters were inspired by actual historical figures, adding greater depth to the show. 5. Physical training of actors. To perform some stunts and fight scenes, the actors underwent intensive training. This allowed for more realistic fights and made the characters appear even more believable. 6. Production secrets. To maintain the intrigue, some scenes of the series were filmed behind closed doors, and some actors learned about key plot twists only after the filming was completed. Fans' impressions. Fans of the series are divided in their opinions about the finale. Some believe it is one of the best finales in TV history, skillfully concluding all the plot lines and giving each character a fair and meaningful resolution. I'm emotionally drained after this finale, but it was just a masterpiece, fans write on forums. Other fans express outrage over some unexplained moments and believe the finale left open questions that weren't fully resolved. I had a hard time accepting some of the characters' decisions. It seemed unfair, they comment on social media. Despite such differing opinions, most viewers agree that the series was a major achievement for the television industry.